Devaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiv Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 12, the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam summarized, text 50 on. Sud Goswami is speaking to Kaunak Rishi and other sages. Tadeva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam, Tadeva Shashvan Manso Mahotsavam, Tadeva Shokarna Vashoshanam Dranam, Yad Uttama Shloka Yasho Anugiyate. Those words describing the glories of the all-famous personality of Godhead are attractive, relishable, and ever fresh. Indeed, such words are a perpetual festival for the mind, and they dry up the ocean of misery. And they dry up the ocean of misery. We just have little misery and we forget everything. We get so bewildered. And the glories, the words that describing the glories of Krishna, they dry up the ocean of misery. Means no more misery is left in a devotee's life. Situations will be there, but he will not be disturbed. That's the thing. And such words are a perpetual festival for the mind. Festival means where we enjoy, we celebrate, we chant and dance, and we just really, literally enjoy. That is a festival. And festival for the mind is what? The words describing the glories of Krishna. And who's Krishna? All the words are attractive, relishable, and ever fresh. Ever fresh. Navam Navam, that's the word Sud Goswami used. I mean, they never get old. Even if you chant same Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, never gets old. It's ever fresh. Na yad vachas chitrapadam hare yashu jagat pavitram pragranit karhichit tad dhangshti ritham natu hansa sevitam yatra chutas tatra hi sadhu amalaha. Those words that do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows, and are never resorted to by those situated in transcendental knowledge. The pure and saintly devotees take interest only in topics glorifying the infallible Supreme Lord. So the words that do not describe the glories of the Lord are like what? Are considered to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. I mean, these two shlokas appeared in first canto also, but it's a little different way. Not Yad Vachas Chitrapadam. The place of pilgrimage for crows. So where do crows go? Crows generally go to crematorium to find some nasty things to eat, or to go to places where they dump garbage. So those who the subject matter or the words that do not describe the glories of the Lord are just like garbage, crematorium, not worth for any person like a Hansa or swan to visit. Only crows visit there. And there are too many crows, many crows in Kali Yuga. But those who like the glories of the Lord, the pure and saintly devotees, take interest only in topics glorifying the infallible Supreme Lord. And those people, those crows, they will not like these topics. They hate these topics. Tadvag visargo jantaga samplavo yasmin prati shlokam abhatvati api namani anantasya yashoankitani yat shanvanti gayanti renanti sadhva. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, and so on of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Misdirected. We are all misdirected, going in the direction where we should not go. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So this is for men who are thoroughly honest. I mean, are heard, sung, and accepted by. But this literature, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, is for the whole world. It just we have to bring people to this. Naish karme api achyut bhava varjitam nashobate jnanamalam niranjanam utah punah shashvat badram ishvare nahi arpitam karma yad api anuttamam. Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from all material affinity, does not look well if devoid of a conception of the infallible God. If devoid of a conception. So self-realization, it just cannot happen if there is no concept of God. What then is the use of even the most properly performed fruitive activities, which are naturally painful from the very beginning and transient by nature, if they are not utilized for the devotion service of the Lord? So knowledge of self-realization, if it is without the conception of God, it is not worth it. And so what to speak of fruitive activities? If they're not used towards the service of the Lord, what's the point in those fruitive activities? They are painful from the beginning and the end, and are transient by nature. They're painful. Everybody is working so hard to make money, and pay taxes, and take care of the relations, and then take care of his own health, and then get old, disease, and die. Where is the pleasure in this whole cycle of life? And we think this is life. This is how we comfort our mind. Oh yeah, this is how it goes. This is what life is. Who said that? This is what we have made as a criteria of living. Until we go to good school, get good education, then go to good college, good degree, good job, and make money, and then we are frustrated. All throughout there are frustrations. And then at job, it's not fun. And anybody in a job or business, there's no fun at all. Even at home, those homemakers, it's not fun. It's always painful, always. And then we get sick, and we get very, very sick, and then we die. Even if they're transient in nature, if they're not utilized for the devotion service of the Lord, what's the point in wasting time? So this is what Bhagavatam teaches us. Yasha shriyameva parishrama paro varnashram chara tapashruta dishu avismriti sridhar pada padmayor gunanuvada shravanada radibhi. Great endeavor one undergoes in executing the ordinary social and religious duties of the Varnashram system, in performing austerities and in hearing from the Vedas, culminates only in the achievement of mundane fame and opulence. But by respecting and attentively hearing the recitation of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord, the husband of Goddess of Fortune, one can remember his lotus feet. This is that's why Bhagavatam, especially Bhagavatam, all Vedic literature must have this, but Bhagavatam specifically. See, the words that are used by here by Suta Goswami. So great endeavor one undergoes in executing the ordinary social and religious duties, in performing austerities, and achieving something which is mundane, fame and opulence. What's the big deal? And what happens by respecting and attentively hearing the recitation of transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord. And who's that Supreme Lord? He's the husband of Goddess of Fortune. We are running after Goddess of Fortune, but we are running after Maya Lakshmi. And the real Lakshmi is who? She is the wife of Supreme Lord, Sridhara. And by doing this, one remembers his lotus feet. And if I remember lotus feet of Krishna, means Krishna is there or Supreme Lord is there, automatically his wife will come with him. It's natural. So we are looking, even if we are looking for fortune, we are looking at the wrong place. We don't want mundane fame and opulence. We want spiritual. And if spiritual comes both, if one wants, or if a Krishna wants to give him, then they give it to Dhruv Maharaj, everything. Avismriti Krishna Padara Vindayo, Shinotya Abhadrani Chasham Shantanoti Sattvasya Shuddhim, Paramatma Bhaktim Jnanam Cha Vijnana Viraga Yuktam. Remembrance of Lord Krishna's lotus feet destroys everything inauspicious and awards the greatest good fortune. It purifies the heart of any unwanted material desires, and bestows devotion for the Supreme Soul, along with knowledge enriched with realization and renunciation. It gives everything. Destroys inauspiciousness, awards the greatest good fortune, purifies the heart of any unwanted desires based on our false ego, bestows devotion, definitely it's going to get, and what along with knowledge, gyan, somebody wants gyan, it gives plenty of gyan, and enriched with realization and renunciation. So those who are after renunciation, only viragya, those are after only gyan, those are only good fortune. Just remembrance of Krishna's lotus feet gives everything. So powerful devotion services. And remembrance of Krishna's lotus feet, how it happens is mentioned in the previous verse. By respecting and attentively hearing the recitation of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord, one can remember his lotus feet. So simple. Yuyam dvijagreya bat bhuri bhaga yachashvadatma anya akhilatma bhutam narayanam devam devam isham ajasra bhava bhajata viveshya. O most eminent of Brahmins, you're all indeed extremely fortunate, since you have already placed within your hearts Lord Sri Narayana, the personality of Godhead, the supreme controller and the ultimate soul of all existence, beyond whom there is no other God. You have undeviating love for him, and thus I request you to worship him. So that's all we have to do. So you are all actually indeed extremely fortunate, because by mercy of Prabhupada, we have studied the whole Bhagavatam, and now even if we don't remember everything, obviously it's difficult, but at least this devotion is there, and we have tried to hear it, try to speak with faith, with respect. So this undeviating love for him, hopefully we have achieved to a certain degree. We just have to work on it. And that's what Sud Goswami said, thus I request you to worship him. Aham cha sansmarit atma tattvam shrutam purame parama rashi vaktrat prayo bhavesha nripate parikshitaha sadasya rishina mahatam cha shanvatam. I also have now been fully reminded of the science of God, which I previously heard from the mouth of the great sage Shukdev Goswami. I was present in the assembly of great sages who heard him speak to King Parikshit as a monarch sat fasting until death. Etadva kathitam vipra kathaniyor karmana mahatmyam vasudevasya sarva shubha vishna vinashanam. O Brahmins, I have thus described to you the glories of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, whose extraordinary activities are most worthy of glorification. This narration destroys all that is inauspicious. This is the beauty of Bhagavatam. Inauspicious in our life. We're not talking about materially inauspicious, but spiritually, which is inauspicious. Means anything that can stop or slow down our progress on bhakti path. That is inauspicious. Ya etat kravaye nityam yamakshanam ananyadhi slokam ekam tadartham va padam padardam avevatva shraddhavan yavanu shruniyat punati atmanam evasa. One who with undeviating attention constantly recites this literature at every moment of every hour, as well as one who faithfully hears even one verse, or half a verse, or a single line, or even half a line, certainly purifies his very soul. Wow. I think this should have been in the beginning. One who faithfully hears even one word, or half a word, or a single line, or even half a line, even that is good enough. This is how powerful Bhagavatam is. Certainly purifies his very self. Dvadashyam ekadasyam shanvanayushyavan bhavet patati anashnan prayataha puto bhavati patakant. One who hears this Bhagavatam on the Ekadashi or Dvadashi days assured of long life, and one who recites it with careful attention while fasting is purified of all sinful reactions. All sinful reactions, no matter in how many lifetimes we have committed those sinful activities, we are purified. Pushkare mathurayam cha dvarvatyam yatatmavan uposya sahitam etam patitva muchyate bhayat. One who controls his mind fasts at the holy places Pushkar, Mathura or Dwarka and studies this scripture will be freed from all fear. All fears. Fear of falling down, fear of going into lower spaces of life, every fear it can go away. Devata manya siddha pitaro manavo nirva yachanti kama granata shranvato yasya kirtana. Upon the person who glorifies this Puran by chanting or hearing it, the demigods, sages, siddhas, pitas, manus, and kings of the earth bestow all desirable things. Wow. Richo yajunshi samani vijo adhityano vindate madhu kulya grit kulya vaya kulyasya tatphalam. By studying this Bhagavatam, a Brahman can enjoy the same rivers of honey, ghee, and milk he enjoys by studying the hymns of Rig, Yajur, and Sama Vedas. This is how powerful Bhagavatam is, because Vedvyasji compiled it after compiling all the Vedic literatures. He compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. Because he was himself not satisfied by compiling all the Vedic literature. And when he wrote Bhagavatam, he was fully satisfied. Purana Sahitam etam adhitya prayato tvija proktam bhagavata yattu tatpadam paramam murajet. A Brahman who diligently reads this essential compilation of all the Puranas will go to the supreme destination, which the Supreme Lord himself has herein described. Vipro adhitya nu yat pragyam rajanyo dadhi mekhalam vaishyo nitipatitvam cha shudra shuddhet patakant. A Brahman who studies the Srimad Bhagavatam achieves firm intelligence in devotional service. A king who studies it gains sovereignty over the earth. A Vaishya acquires great treasure. And a Shudra is freed from sinful reactions. See, Shudra, so it's not that Shudras cannot hear or read Srimad Bhagavatam. Wrong interpretation, wrong message that is going on throughout the society, Indian society. Where it says here clearly, one who studies Srimad Bhagavatam, and Shudra, if he studies, he is freed from sinful reactions. Anybody can study and hear. Kalimal samhita kalano akhileshu hariritara na giyate hi abhikshanam ihtu punar bhagavan ashesha murtihi paripatito anupadam katha prasanga. Lord Hari, the supreme controller of all beings, annihilates the accumulated sins of the Kali age. Yet other literatures do not constantly glorify him. But that supreme personality of Godhead appearing in his innumerable personal expansions is abundantly and constantly described throughout the various narrations of this Srimad Bhagavatam. Tam aham jam anantam atma tattvam jagat uday sthiti sayam atma shaktim dyupati bhir jash shakra shankaradyad sankaradyad durvasitastavam achyutam nato asmi. I bow down to that unborn and infinite supreme soul whose personal energies effect the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material universe. Even Brahma, Indra, Shankar, and other lords of the heavenly planets cannot fathom the glories of that infallible personality of Godhead. Upachitanva Shakti Bhiswa Atmanya Uparachit Sthira Jangamalaya Lalyaya Bhagvat Upalabdhi Matra Dhamne Sura Rishabhaya Nama Sanatanaya. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the eternal Lord and the leader of all other deities, who by evolving his 9 material energies has arranged within himself the abode of all moving and non-moving creatures, and who is always situated in pure, transcendental consciousness. So sukha nibhrita cheta sad vyuddha vidastanya bhavo api ajit ruchir leela krishta sarasta diyam vyatanutta kripaya yastatva deepam puranam tamakhil vrijani nagnam vyasa sonam nato asmi. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the son of Vyasadeva, Shukdev Goswami. It's he who defeats all inauspicious things within this universe. Although in the beginning he was absorbed in the happiness of Brahman realization and was living in a secluded place, giving up all other types of consciousness, he became attracted by the pleasing, most melodious pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. He therefore mercifully spoke this supreme Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the bright light of the absolute truth and which describes the activities of the Lord. So without offering respectful obeisances to Shukdev Goswami and other great acharyas in his line, one cannot possibly gain the privilege of entering into the deep transcendental meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sut Goswami is paying obeisances to Krishna, to his Guru, for giving him this realization so he could speak Srimad Bhagavatam. So thus ends the purpose to 12th canto, 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Topics of Srimad Bhagavatam Summarized. We'll stop here and tomorrow we'll start the last chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Hari Bol.
Hari
Super,
Bol.
Guruji.
Thank you, Mata. Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna.